Welcome to Beyond Our Focus. I'm Stefan, this is Amanda, and this is Would You Blink If Blink with a Consequence. Today is April 11th, a fancy Thursday, and today's fancy question is going to be me starting this timer. That's what it's going to be, and then it's going to be...
It's not a question. Objection.
Objection. Would you work a job you hate? Like loathe. Not just hate, loathe. If it brought you great success or great financial success.
So picture the worst job you've ever had and then times it by what? 5, 10?
Yeah, it's got to be a job you hate. And everyone's got different opinions on something they hate.
Yeah, we can't really put a name on said job because to one person's dream job is another person's just, I'm never going there.
Exactly. Some people don't mind like physical labor. Like, I wouldn't particularly call roofing a great job. But some people may be like, it's not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad. I don't mind being out in the sun a little bit. So it wouldn't be considered that bad.
Little fried salamander. That would be me.
But to other people, it may be the worst thing ever. And, I mean, everyone's got their opinion on what a horrible job would be. And most jobs require badness being a bad boss. Bad
bosses, bad hours.
Yeah, bad bosses, hours, coworkers. These all equal to be badness. Imagine if you had all of them. Let's see. What's your least favorite shift at a job? What's your least favorite boss? What's your least favorite coworkers?
And all the customers you've ever had a run-in with.
Assuming it is a customer service job of any sort. Which probably is going to be bad for everybody. Most people anyway. So, would you work this terrible, horrible job for 5 years? We're putting a limit on there. 5 solid years. Got a good chunk of your life. You don't have. There's no working excessively. Let's say a good 9-hour day. So with an hour lunch, or if you want to do 8.5 for the 30, or however you want to make that work. Whatever makes you happy. I don't really care which way you do it. You have to be working 8 physical hours a day, 5 days a week. It's a 40-hour job.
Do you get weekends off?
No. You definitely wouldn't get weekends off. You would have split days, and it'd be like a Monday and a Thursday or something.
Wait, no, you can never let them have Mondays off because Mondays have that certain feel to them.
But only when you have weekends off. Otherwise, anything could be a Monday.
That's true.
Truthfully.
Tuesday is the new Monday.
I mean, we can't give Friday off because it's too close to the weekend. So we split those days up. You never feel like you're actually leaving work. It's terrible. You have a terrible boss. You work around terrible people. But you make a few $100,000 a year.
So you're pretty much set financially for 5 years.
Yes. I mean, you're making great success. Or being very successful in money purposes, at least, for 5 years.
At one point, I'm like, great, any vacations you want, except you only have 2 days off and they're split. How are you ever going to get vacation unless you can take time off? I assume you can take time off.
And most jobs offer time off. You would assume this would too. We're going to go with, say you just started this job, you don't have a lot of vacation.
So you get like a 4-day weekend? Is that what you're trying to say?
Most jobs give you, I mean, according to what job. Construction, you don't really get, it's like, you don't really get vacation, take off, you don't get paid if they give you off. I don't know how all that works all the time, but most retail stuff's like, hey, so we'll say for the first 3 years you get 1 week, and the last 2 years you get 2 weeks, just to be nice. Because why not? You're already working something miserable.
But at least for 1 week out of a year, you get to use that money to go on vacation, or it definitely set Christmas and stuff up for people.
Yeah, so we'll give you 7 days you can take off. Whether you want to use that in a full week, or if you want to spread it out to go with it. But
do you have sick days?
Sick days? Oof, you're asking for a lot now. God. Asking for too much calling out. Ooh.
Can we get fired in that 5 years? Or is it like a blood contract? Are we set in solid stone?
Making a deal with the devil.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, I mean, you're going to be pretty miserable for 5 years. Now, I mean, after this, yes, you're probably, as long as you weren't stupid and spent all this money somehow, I mean, you're making what, $200,000-$300,000 a year. It's gonna be hard to spend that, but not too hard to spend that. Don't be stupid.
It adds up. It adds up real fast.
Don't be stupid. Stupid. Anyway.
I don't know. It's always that tricky thing of, yes, 5 years can go by really fast, but it also depends on what age you are now. It also depends on really the fact that you could die at any moment, and so you may never see that money or actually get to spend it. Yes, it would be a nice, it would be nice to cover your own funeral and stuff like that. It's not leaving debt behind for your family members and stuff.
According to where you live in the country, you don't need like a drastic amount to live. But I mean, I guess according to where you do currently live, you live in California, $200,000-$300,000 isn't quite what it's made out to be. That's always a great financial success. I mean, I could say we could really just say $500,000 a year. Just really, really incentivize. I don't know a good way to.
Well, see, it's difficult to say because I already dislike my job. And it's to the point where you wake up and you're like, do I even want to go in today? You stop and go, are bills really that important? I mean, when you have to say that, you know that it's like, is the finances really worth it? But really, really, really hating a job, like loathing it.
Most people work a job. It's tolerable. That's why they can work it without too much troubles. Get their finances paid and live day to day. Maybe have a little extra to do things and try to be fairly happy outside the job that may not care for them much. I think the best way to say how much you would get, because you're living right now. Mm-hmm. Well, how about we just say like 10 times what you make now?
Jesus.
Instead of a set amount, because you live in California and you're living okay, well then 10 times that amount. Or California and New York is very different than like middle of the country, where money's just different. So 10 times what you make now. Can you be miserable? Do you think it's worth it to be miserable for 10 years, 5 years.
Holy shit.
Oh, really? A decade. Why
Please,
not?
no.
5 years. 5 years of hating going into work every day. Or 5 days a week. Is it worth it? Is it worth, when you come out, if you keep living exactly like you live now, save all the extra money. When you get done, you're gonna have a pretty penny.
I want to say yes. I really, really want to say yes, but part of me is still screaming. It's like, yeah, but if this is how you're living your life just for the end of that 5 years, there's always the chance you're not going to make that 5 years, and there's always the whole vibe of there are people who don't make that much, but they absolutely love their jobs, and they're enjoying life because they're getting by, but that's enough for them. And you're enjoying what people don't realize is that how that kind of situation affects your relationships with other people as well. If you hate your job, if every day you're coming home wanting to burn the place to the ground, then that vibe is put on your partner, it's put on your kids, it's put on anybody you meet. And just having 2 separate days whenever and maybe a week vacation. I don't know, me personally, if I could. I think I would be more happy with a job that maybe doesn't make it makes bank. That's all it does. It makes.
Well, see, you look at it now. Are you happier at your current employment, making what you make now, or would it be worth hating the job more to make so much more? Because just because you're not working this horrible doesn't mean you're working a great job. You're just doing what you're doing now. And unless you already love your job, that doesn't sound appealing either.
No. Like, if the situation where we currently are were to get worse, like, no matter how many raises they tried to give, if it just kept getting worse and worse, it's not worth it in the end. It really isn't. Because, as I said, you can save up as much money as you want, but if you're not enjoying the time that you have, what is it going to do?
I don't disagree. But imagine the payoff.
I know. I can imagine the payoff. And there's people that would completely disagree. And they'd be like, oh, well, the only reason why you say that is because you've never seen that money. And no, I've never seen that kind of money. I've never seen that kind of money. But I have hated my job. I have woke up and been like, maybe I want to live in a box. Do I go anyway? Yes. But I don't know if I could picture successfully being in a place that I despise for 8 hours a day to the point where I can go home and just be like, the money will be worth it in the end. I don't think I'm going to go with no. I'm going to have to. I can't.
Poppycock.
What about you, Mr. 5 years? You going to suffer? You going to suffer for 5 years?
It's a long time. It's a long time.
And what if they wouldn't give you PAX weekend off?
How I love PAX.
Or, I guess you could split your vacation time between the 2 PAXs, but that's all you can do for the entire year.
That'd be hard. It'd be hard.
You'd be able to spend a lot more money at PAX, but...
Oh, yeah, I don't need to spend more money. That's not necessary.
But you wouldn't be able to just be like, you know what?
Financial freedom afterwards. Actually, even during.
Yeah.
You'd be debt-free with money to spend afterwards.
And only 2 random days off a week.
Only for 5 years.
For 5 years, it may go by really fast, but it's a long time. Okay? A lot can change in 5 years. And the place could just get worse.
It's a hard question. I know I proposed it, but it's a hard question.
It really is. As I said, my brain was wanting to say yes, because to just, after 5 years, take a deep breath and go, okay, I'm good. I can do whatever I want from here. I could help people. I could do whatever. I could start my own business, anything like that. You could just have a side job the entire time and hope you don't just bury that into the ground because you're so stressed out all the time. But
it's a hard question.
Okay, I'll put it this way. Do you think we'd be able to actually do this podcast after working 9 hours or 8 hours in a place where you literally just want to punch everybody you meet?
It'd be a much angrier podcast. Much angrier. Like I said, it's a hard question. We'd love to know what y'all thought.
No, you're giving your answer.
I want you to cut to the end.
No, you give your answer. I sacrificed and said no.
I desperately want to say yes. That's like you said. I really want to say yes.
It's appealing.
But I don't.
It really is. That money is appealing.
Truthfully think I can say yes, unfortunately. So it probably will be a no for me as well. I want to say yes, though. I do.
I know.
I really do.
I want to say yes, too. But when you think about it, 5 years, a lot can happen in 5 years. And how your mental state is really important for 5 years.
It is. All right, we both say no. Let us know what you would say down in the comments down below. But, as always, you can reach me at Stars and Travel. Reach Amanda at KZPup. Reach the show anywhere, including YouTube and podcast services around the globe.
Maybe.
But, as always, throw a like on there because we greatly appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel because we appreciate that even more. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought. Anything else?
Nope.
Till next time. Long days and pleasant nights.